Hey, my name is Brandon Zinzer, and I help skilled trades businesses integrate AI into their systems to be more efficient. So, today I wanted to talk about AI voice agents, kind of what they are, and then the future of what trades businesses can expect. All right, so one of the biggest advantages to employing artificial intelligence, specifically voice agents, into your business are going to be response times. I recently had to book a plumber because of a leak from an upstairs shower. I had to book painters. I had to book an HVAC person to come out and service before the summer. And one of the biggest drawbacks that I found was people just wouldn't pick up the phone. And those businesses that I called and left messages for, by the time they got back to me, maybe at the end of the day or 24 hours later, all the way up to 72 hours later, my business was already long gone, and I just went ahead and booked with the business who picked up the phone or was able to schedule me at that time. So one of the great things with AI agents are 24/7 availability. They're going to answer the phone whether you're on a job, the day's over, or the weekend. So this means really no missed opportunities and no more customers going down the black hole of just leaving voicemails and not even knowing who they're contacting or the voicemails that they left, as well as frequently asked questions. Obviously, this drains a bunch of business owners' times in the trade services, asking all the common questions: how much is this going to cost? When can you come out and service, etc. So more jobs and less overhead. Obviously, we're getting into an era where we can staff down, right? Instead of overstaffing or employing all these people within our businesses. So one thing that AI voice agents can do is automated scheduling. So the customer calls you up, the AI voice agent answers, and it can look at your schedule, integrates into your schedule, into your CRM, checks when the next available booking is, and then books that. Also, payment reminders, right? So if for some reason you didn't get payment on that job site on that day, we can schedule automated follow-ups so we can collect more of that money and put it back in your pocket. And then, like I mentioned in the beginning, reduce staff needs. So you don't have to have this huge team or multiple assistants to run a very profitable plumbing, HVAC, roofing business, etc. So one of the big things, like we mentioned, are wasted leads. So customers calling in, not getting the service and attention that they need, and then just bouncing, going to the next business. So appointment confirmation is another big one, because sometimes you'll book a service and you'll show up, the customer isn't even there because in their mind they totally forgot that they even booked this appointment. And a lot of business owners, unfortunately, do not have any sort of confirmation day before, maybe 5 hours before the service. So that's one thing that we can automate that really, really helps out the business owners that we service. And of course, this means, full schedules for the team. There's no missing appointments or missing customers calling in because you just can't pick up the phone because you're on the job or because it's late and you forget. So just streamlining this process is huge, as well as instant qualification. So say you're a roofer and you have a minimum job requirement of, say, 15,000. So one of the things that we can do is employ AI to go ahead and qualify this lead that's calling. Hey, we hear that you want your whole roof replaced. What is your budget? And if they give you a budget of $5,000, $8,000, you can then appropriately direct them away and just let them know that you have a minimum service order amount. So that's also huge because you're not spending time on the phone, wasting it, right, with leads who aren't going to be able to pay you what you're worth. So smarter call handling, we can prioritize more urgent jobs just by asking, like, hey, say, you're a plumber and a customer calls in, a pipe burst, there's water spewing everywhere, and obviously you want to take on that job. And we can ask the customer, is this an emergency or can we wait for a scheduled day and time like our next available? So AI can essentially identify and flag high priority calls, which you can usually get paid more if it's like a really urgent matter. So we can categorize those separately, or even go ahead and transfer straight to the business owner or a human to get that booked as soon as possible. Like I mentioned, route calls by service. So no matter what business you're in, if you have different lines of service and different people who are humans who handle that specific thing, we can easily reroute based on that initial call to the appropriate person. And like I mentioned, human intervention when needed. So if something becomes, well, first of all, if as we're getting used to AI, there's going to be people who are saying, operator, or I want to speak to a human, right? And as we get used to it, that's totally, it makes sense. As AI becomes more of a staple in our daily life, it'll just be like, sure, I'm talking to an AI agent, but I don't care. I'm getting the service I need. So point being, if someone does ask to speak to a human, we can go ahead and transfer that call directly to the business owner's phone or the service worker. So early adopters, as with anything like the internet in 1995, why do I need a website? Well, I think it's pretty apparent now why businesses need website. It's the same thing that's happening now. Those businesses in the late 90s and even early 2000s who adopted websites and took advantage of, Google search and things like that are one way bigger than those who kind of just stayed on the fence, right? So our goal is to book way more jobs for you because you're able to handle the call volume. So say you're getting 15 calls a day, but you are only able to pick up maybe 5, and then of those 15 or of those 10 that were left that you didn't pick up, you have to get back to each and every one of those voicemails, even if they leave you a voicemail. A lot of people aren't. They're just going to move on to the next person. So our goal is to really book out your calendar as much as you can handle. And of course, we want to make sure that you can dominate your space. If you're a plumber, we want you to be the best in your area. Charlotte, North Carolina, for example, is where we help our skilled trade services. But we're open to exploring other areas of the country. So we just want to make sure that you can, book as many jobs as possible. You dominate your field in your area, and we can help your business expand and grow by getting way more jobs booked. So the shift started happening, I would say, in late 2023, but really more so early 2024 when AI began. We saw ChatGPT come out, and people would, type little sentences in there and like, oh, great, I know my question's answered. This is better than Google. But that was 2024. 2025, we're really seeing people build, including our company, some great systems that help them in their everyday life and businesses that they service. So 2025, right at shooting this video, it's in February, is a really, really big time for integration into businesses, and the early adopters who integrate these systems into their businesses now will flourish way more than people who sit on the sidelines. In 2026 and beyond, AI is going to be mainstream. You can look at it now. Just recently, AI went into every Apple product, right? AI intelligence, Apple intelligence, as Apple calls it. It's becoming mainstream. We're putting it on our phones, our computers, our laptops. Amazon just came out with Alexa Plus. So what that means is, there's some people who are going to be paying $20 a month to have this integration into their device. So all these companies are spending billions and billions and billions of dollars on AI. So one of the reasons why AI is so vital because you want to stay competitive with everyone, in your business. So for example, say you were in the early stages of websites. If you didn't have a website, you're kind of not getting as many jobs or as many calls because people simply couldn't find you. It's the same thing now in terms of staying competitive, of being able to, yes, you're visible online, like say your website or your Google My Business listing is visible, but are you able to take the calls? And from the business owners in the trades industry that I've dealt with, if their team isn't big enough to answer the phone and even answer multiple calls at once, that's another big thing that I haven't mentioned. You're not going to be able to stay ahead of the curve there. So our whole goal is to really maximize efficiency with using AI-powered solutions. Again, those payment reminders, those schedulings or rebookings or cancellations, or even the data being input into your CRM for you and not having a assistant have to actually take that on. So those who integrate AI voice agents into their business way early are just going to be able to streamline operations and enhance the customer service. So this is the end of this presentation, but if this is something that you're really considering as a business owner in the skilled trades service area, give me a call, give me a DM. We'll go ahead and do a free consultation and just see, hey, what is the call volume like? Are you able to take on more calls, right? Are you running ads to your website? Are you running ads on Google? So we can kind of break down the numbers and see, hey, based on the cost per minute per call of how many calls you're getting, what you can expect to profit off of this. And hey, are you able to let some people go from your company to be that more profitable putting an AI agent in place like this? So you can email me at create@eternalinbox.com or shoot me a DM and connect with me on LinkedIn. It's just going to be linkedin.com/in/Brandon Zenzer. You can just go to linkedin.com and search my name and you'll be able to find me there. All right, well, until next time, have a great day.